and live stream for tonight. As usually, behind the cameras is Alex from All About Lapland. This is already the second live stream that I'm doing today on these different channels. During the first ones, about 2 hours ago, we've all seen quite amazing northern lights from the window of these Aurora cabins. And for this second live stream, I promised that the Aurora will be back. I set the cameras outside because I had a feeling the Auroras will go in many different directions. So, for this second live stream, I've put the camera outside so I can show you different places, even the sky above us, and it looks like the Aurora is going crazy up there. So I'm going to go outside now and putting my gloves on because it's very windy today. So you will see me going outside this amazing Aurora cabin, and today I'm a guest here at the amazing Aurora village. We are in Ivalo today, so very far up north. So I'm ready to go, put all my clothes, my lamp is over here. I'm inside this very cottage you're looking for. So I'm gonna go outside, it's quite windy there, but I will continue speaking from there, from the outside. All my gear is here inside the cottage, and I will guide the camera around the sky to see where Aurora is going. I will also talk, but it's quite windy outside, so please bear with me. Alright, I'm gonna go outside now, take some pictures, and guide the camera. See you soon. So it's quite amazing night tonight in Finnish Lapland. I hope you can hear me well. I will go and check if the voice is okay. So I'm speaking with my mic here on this camera. So let's take a look around. So this is the Aurora village in Ivalo, Lapland, and it consists of these really cozy cabins. From there you can see the northern lights from the window of the cottage. And normally the auroras happen over there, only over there on the horizon. So this is the north. So quite often the auroras are only hidden over there just above the horizon. And this is where you see them from the cabins. However, on these crazy March nights like today, the auroras can be seen in every direction. So not only in the north where we look right now, but quite amazingly just up in the skies above over there. So now we are basically looking directly up, and there he goes, Aurora rising up again. So otherwise it's been quite a funny night in the sense that Aurora keeps coming and going in this short bursts. So it's already showed up for 2 or 3 times, and I've streamed one of these times. The second time was quite short, so I didn't start live streaming, but now I've seen it's going places again, so I've decided maybe this time it will go crazy. Maybe not, but at least now we're having quite a good show on the horizon there as well. So it's quite a good sight from the cottage, these auroras over there on the horizon. So please give me feedback if the voice is okay, if you can hear it well. I'm gonna go inside the cottage for a second to read your comments and to check if everything is okay over there. Alright, I'm back inside. Let's see if we have some comments. Sound is good, says Edmonton. Ulla is saying, hi, I was born in Ivalo. Wow, quite nice, quite nice. So we have Julia and also Sergio online. So everything looks good. I'm gonna go outside again and point the cameras, maybe take some pictures. It's very, very windy outside, so I really enjoy being here inside the cottage once in a while to be protected from the wind. And yeah, there is another angle of the cottage over there. This is the main bedroom, and this is where you see the auroras through this window when you turn the light off. But I'm gonna go outside and find the best angle for the auroras. So again, Aurora keeps playing games tonight, and actually quite interestingly I see some auroras in the south, so back from me, quite unusually. So this is the view towards the north, but I'm gonna go around and show you panorama, and I think those are the auroras just behind me. So we are passing towards the south with this camera angle, and you can see the rest of the cottages here at the Aurora village. A very nice place in Ivalo, high up north, so great chances for northern lights. Oh, indeed, the Aurora has gone over there. It's really playing hide and seek today. It's going places, and quite interestingly, it has gone south. So now we are started. This is east, and now we are facing southeast. Wow, interesting. And we are looking towards the south almost. There we go. Aurora has gone to a totally I've unplugged the camera from the battery. Sorry about that. Things happen. I didn't plan to film this way in the south. I was planning to film to the north, but now I'm looking directly south, which is quite unusual. And as I was turning, I've unplugged the camera. So oh, we have to go back. We have to go back towards the north because things start happening. Oh wow, this is a thriller. This is a real thriller, guys. So quickly. Oh, look at that. So the second I look south, this happened. Oh my god. Aurora is so unpredictable. I guess I have to put one of my cameras and take photos now. So it is time to run around like headless chicken. The Aurora is a bit crazy today. It's just going places. It's just changing direction. Now it's just now it went towards this cottage. Oh wow. It is really sneaky tonight. Yesterday I think it was, or 2 days ago, yes, two nights ago, it was totally different. It was dancing for 45 minutes, staying in one place without turning on and off. Today it's totally different. It's very, very quirky. It's just appearing, disappearing, playing playing games with me. So but it looks good. It looks good over there on the north east. We're looking now behind the cottage. There is a nice nice green action, and there is some on the left side as well, but behind this cottage is the main point of interest over there. So if you're just joining me, this is Alex from All About Lapland, live streaming Northern Lights again. Today I'm in Ivalo at the Aurora village, and this is already the second live stream. The first one I did from inside one of these cottages, looking at the auroras through the glass window, staying warm inside. My first ever live stream staying warm inside. But for the second live stream I decided to go outside just to be sure if the aurora just goes different places. It's a bit easier to notice it like that, and also easier to point the camera at it. It's been really moving fast today and playing hide and seek. So there is also over there now. You see, just it just keeps changing things, keeps changing the location and the shape. I don't remember a night like this, at least not recently, when it would be so crazy all over the place. So March, as I was often saying, is a great month for Northern Lights, and today we have really favorable aurora conditions. However, the shape, it's always different, and today the shapes have been all kinds, and they're just appearing in random places in the sky. So the weather was quite warm today. It was the first day when we felt really like spring. It was plus 5 degrees here in the north in Ivalo, and I think it was about plus 8 on the Arctic Circle in Rovaniemi. So this week it's quite warm, the first warm week of the spring. However, nights are still very cold, and we have a really incredibly cold wind also today. So as I understand from the forecast, the week after this one will be cold again, so we are not fully in spring mode yet. So snow will melt a little bit, I guess, but there's still plenty of snow over here, and well, who knows, we might also have some fresh snowfalls. Oh, actually, now the aurora is doing this. It's doing 2 arches. One of them is trying to climb up over there, just above me, and the second one, it's gaining strength and it's shooting up from behind these trees over there. Interesting. I really hope that today we're gonna see at least one like really decent bang, and not just hide and seek aurora. But as you might understand, it's not always easy to predict when this is actually going to happen. So it's already second time I started live stream waiting for this really huge thing happening, but it still hasn't achieved us. Not to say that these are bad auroras. Actually, these are very decent auroras. So you have to be really lucky to see those if you're in midwinter in December and January. However, when talking about March, in March you expect things to be brilliant, to be really good and powerful. So that is why expectations are high. Just 2 nights ago we had a really powerful aurora dance, not just aurora glow of what we are saying, but really like dancing and shivering auroras in the skies for 45 minutes. Okay, so we have a quite funky, interesting kind of circular shape. So this is one end behind these two trees, and it's doing a very tight loop, and it's going back north again behind the other two trees. Interesting. So now I see a bit of the movement over there, and can also take a look towards the northeast. So this is our northeast. There is some green glow over there, over the cottage, and most of the action is over northwest right now. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave the stream running like that, expecting things to happen, even bigger things to happen. I'll go inside and warm up a little bit and read a few comments, and if the Aurora is going to change the shape, I will go with it. So let's fix the camera about there, and I'm gonna enter the cottage right now. Can't really hear you. Oh, I'm sorry, I did not change the microphone. Sorry about that. I'm using one microphone inside and one microphone outside. So thanks for reminding me about that. Gabe is asking, is it very cold? It's about 0 degrees centigrade, but it's very windy outside, so I'm happy to go inside now for a moment and warm up. And it looks like there were interesting fish rib shapes going around the very cottage where I am right now. Quite interesting looking, and I'm really hopeful we will be treated for like a really decent, good show tonight. But of course, it's very difficult to predict what Aurora will do next. Or at least the timing. I'm really optimistic for a real good, amazing blow, and I will continue live streaming today for a little longer, anticipating that. I already did like a 15-minute live stream a bit earlier today. So Gab is also saying, this is amazing, I can't wait to visit you. Stefan is saying, Lappi, Sudan. We have Philippe online. Philippe, how are you doing? How is school, my friend? So now we have a really interesting shape developing over there between the trees. Maybe I will go outside quite soon, but it's so nice and warm inside here. Inside the cottage where I am at the Aurora village. Very comfortable. Of course, no time to sleep for me as I'm chasing the Aurora or chasing outside. So now I think there is cool things happening, so we'll go outside, take some photos and continue from there. So I'm back behind the camera and things are developing. We have actually 2 or 3 arches right now. Let me show all of them for you. So first we have an arch just over the cottage on the right in the north. Then we have this bigger arch shooting directly up in the sky and growing in powerfulness, and there is another one in the back. So let me show you all of them. So this is the second most powerful arch, which is rising high up in the sky, very high at it's almost overhead, not like 100% overhead, but really high overhead. And there is also another arch to the right from that. So this one on the right, it is going south from here. So now we're looking directly towards west, and you can see that this arch is kind of separated in 2. So there is one more powerful on the left, and there is also another one on the right, which is slightly to the south. So quite incredible. And right now it's quite big. It's wow, it's actually quite amazingly big. The massive arch overhead. It's not dancing yet, it's just shivering, although it is absolutely giant in size. It's just covering everything above the sky. And there in the middle of these trees is the most powerful region right now, and this is the one which is beginning to dance. Actually, it's a quite picture perfect view. I'm gonna go and grab one of my cameras and oh wow, it's actually moving right now. Oh wow, look at that. The Aurora is on the move. Now it's dancing. Oh wow, look at that. And there is also growing moon. Oh, look at that. Oh, massive. Oh wow. Oh wow. This is so freaking cool. It's everywhere. Nice. It's moving and it's everywhere. Look at that. I'm gonna go and pan around and show you where it's going. This pretty much looks like this thing I was waiting for this whole night. This Big Bang, the Aurora Big Bang, which is happening right now all over the sky. So there is like this big circular arch which is curving right into this street in the Aurora village over the cottages, Aurora Cottage Street, let's call it like that. So this curves right into this gap into the trees, and actually it's wow, that's actually moved pretty fast, like a couple of minutes, and it's totally changed shape. So now we're looking towards the east, but things are also happening in the west, and overhead there is lots of aurora overhead, and it's just shivering down on me. What I will do, I will just put the camera into my hands from the tripod, and I will try to pan up slowly because my tripod doesn't go high up like that. So I'm pointing the camera vertically up. Now we're looking directly overhead, and this is the view that I'm seeing as well. So there is a giant aurora unfolding above my head, and basically we are underneath this arch, so this is why it looks kind of going left and right and up and down. So we are directly under the aurora and it's just raining down on us. Quite cool. Quite cool indeed. This is so nice. There's so many different shapes. Wow. So we are having a very good aurora. What can only be better than this if these aurora shapes would just dance violently with the myriad of colors. Now they're just a little bit more passive, but in any case this is a great sight. This is the best moment of this night that I was waiting for many hours, and I'm glad that it's finally here and I got the timing right. So I'm gonna put us on the tripod, back on the tripod over here. There we go. And we're gonna take another swipe around. So this is the giant aurora arch shooting up in the sky from east, going overhead and ending in the west. And let's turn around and see what's happening in the other places. So we are turning back towards the north. Turning back, there is many aurora residues from this big arch that we witnessed just a few moments ago. There is quite a lot of green stuff in the sky. It's almost everywhere in random batches, and a little bit more just over the cottage. Oh wow, basically the whole sky is now green. The aurora is just soaking in the skies everywhere. It's like it's everywhere. Everywhere you look is green. So, and also as you can see, we're having a moon which is growing in power, so that kind of makes the aurora less visible, although it's not the full moon yet. But I think it's a nice mix of colors. I really like this this time for auroras, when there is some moonlight but not too much, and also the auroras together they produce a very nice image, quite cool looking image. During the last full moon I was chasing northern lights in Pallas Ylläs National Park, and back then we still had snowy trees, popcorn snowy trees. Now the snow has gone from the trees as it's been so windy, and also the sun is warming up the trees quite a lot in daytime. So now looking over these cottages, we are actually, they're called Aurora cabins, not cottages. So looking over there, it's the most active region, and as you can hear, it's pretty cloudy, pretty windy today. So even though the temperature is not that cold, it feels quite cold to be outside due to the wind. Okay, I've activated the light because I moved a little bit to change my tripod position, but it will go quiet in a few seconds. There we go. No light pollution, and as you can see, this place is pretty amazing. There is no light pollution on the other side in the north where you look, there is just a forest, which is quite nice for Aurora. So if you will consider traveling to Finland and Lapland in some future times, please bookmark this place, auroravillage.fi. I really like it here, and I know the owners very well. They are very nice people who care about customer experience, and I enjoy several trips per year to this place and film some northern lights at night. And it's actually quite rare that I haven't seen any northern lights in this place. I think there was only one trip when I've seen small northern lights. The rest of the trips here I've always seen big northern lights and small ones as well. So, and no trips at all that I haven't seen northern lights here, and I usually stay for a couple of days and nights, or we stay with Julia. And also in the summer, last summer I came to Aurora Village, and we went canoeing, mountain biking, and there was a lot of fun experiences. In summer the sun shines day and night over this area, but there are nice curtains in these glass cabins in the Aurora igloos that let you sleep, because without the curtains it's pretty impossible to sleep under the open skies, because it's always so bright. But now it looks quite nice, as we still have dark nights for at least 1 month. In the end of April, the Aurora season will end, as the nights will grow shorter and shorter until there is like a couple of hours of night time. And coming into the early May, there is no night at all in this area, and the horizon that you can see right now, it starts to glow red because of the sun being there quite low on the horizon at night time. So this is quite cool time as well. So please check out their site, auroravillage.fi. Really premium place to visit. And of course, if you are in Finland, you can still make it here for a nice Aurora experience, or any kind of snow experience. There are cross-country skiing tracks that these folks make for the visitors. You can go and ski around a huge area. There are snowmobile safaris here. You can rent a snowmobile or go with a guide, and there are numerous experiences that you can have in this area. There are guided husky tours, reindeer tours, and I've heard Santa is sometimes around as well, and you can have a private meeting with him. Alright, I'm doing quite a good sales work for Aurora Village. I hope all of you are appreciating my effort. So there is some nice green stuff now on the horizon. Looks like it's quieting down a little bit, so I guess what I will do, I will go into the cottage again to warm up, as it's incredibly windy and inhospitable here outside, and I'll read a few comments of yours, and we will hang out together and see what we will do next. Alrighty, I'm back inside. It's so nice to be warm and comfortable here inside the cottage. I'm in a really nice armchair, really comfortable, and I'm gonna look at the Aurora now with you together through the video, so we can all stay warm and cozy and have a little chat. Hope you can hear me well. So let's see about the comments. So many people are saying how beautiful it is. Jidapa and Sherry and John. Gaby is liking the show. Jidapa is asking, could you tell me what camera you use? I will buy camera like you. You make very beautiful northern lights. So Jidapa, for this video that you are seeing on this main screen, I use the Sony Alpha 7S camera. It is really nice. I use the first generation camera, but there is already a third generation on the market. I'm looking forward to buy it as well, to upgrade my gear, because I also want to make two cameras. Want to have two cameras so I can have multiple angles. So far I only have one, but you can buy the latest Sony Alpha 7S camera and it will deliver this kind of video image for you, and also it takes nice photos. Jill is saying, wow, amazing. Priscilla is saying, it's so beautiful. Kiitos, Alex. You are very welcome. We also have Bells online. Haley is saying, it's amazing. I hope we get to see them when I visit Lapland in December. So, Haley's asking, what area are you in? So, today I am at a place called Aurora Village. And it consists of these wonderful Aurora cottages. It is in Ivalo. It is almost 300 kilometers north from the Arctic Circle. The cool thing about Ivalo is that they have their own airport, so you can reach this place easily. From Helsinki, it's a 1.5 hour flight, so it's only 5 minutes drive away from here. Everything is near. The village is quite small, but the Ivalo village itself, where locals live, it's quite small. There's only like a couple of grocery stores and a couple of, pizza kebab places. Couple of hotels as well, but this one, the hotel that I'm in right now, it's called the Aurora Village, and I've already had this link on screen. Let's show it one more time. You can go to auroravillage.fi and find out more about this place. I'm really excited to be here again. It's one of my favorite places to visit. I'm always feeling so relaxed here. I don't know why this is. I guess you feel like you're at the edge of the world and you can forget all the worries, and it's quite cool here. So there is lots of forests. There is like literally nothing around, but that's the beauty of this place. And you can also do some cool activities as well. So Bells, the name of this place is called Aurora Village, and you can find the link on the screen over here. Christina is saying, we should stay here when we make it to Finland. Alex recommended. Yes, definitely, from all my heart can recommend this place. So next year you're all welcome to visit, or next season. Marcela is saying, que hermoso. Yes, it's quite nice. Very cool place to be, and usually very nice auroras. Still shivering over there outside. By the way, you can see the snowshoes over there on the wall of the cottage, and I think each cottage has a pair of snowshoes that you can just grab and go out and explore on your own. So you don't even need necessarily the guided tours, although they're quite cool as well. So at any time you can just escape into the wilderness. And they also have a very cool main building, which is the restaurant, where they serve breakfasts and dinners as well. Unfortunately now it's closed by, all the restaurants in Finland are closed, even these small ones over here that cater to only a few customers. But so what they do is that they bring you a bag with the breakfast, and also you can grab a dinner at the main. You should take away, even though there is nobody, you're supposed to take away your dinner. But normally you go inside the main restaurant, which is I think about 300 meters from here, 400 meters. So this is where you go, and there is the reception as well. So let's see some Aurora graphs over here. So the Aurora situation continues to be quite good. So things can still happen, and crazy things can still happen. So what we'll do, I will just continue streaming for a while, because you never really know if things will go really crazy, and I want to catch the right moment. Of course, it's possible that it will just dance gently, but you never know. So we'll continue streaming as it still looks good, and we definitely can see more of Aurora explosions. Gabby has to go to sleep, have to work at 7 in the morning. Oh, thanks a lot. Greetings to Julia. I will tell her. George is saying, are you facing north? What direction? Yes, now the camera is pointing to north west. So the north is to the right from the image. But the arch is now, it's not in the north, it's going higher. So that's why we are facing a little bit to the left and up. This is where the action is. As today is quite an active night. What is the temperature right now? I think it's around 0 - 2 degrees centigrade. So the temperature itself, it's not very cold at all. But the wind today, it's so cold. Like all day, it's been very windy. So are they generally toward the north? Yes. On a very quiet night, you usually see the aurora just as an arch above the northern horizon, so even lower than these auroras are right now. This is when we have really low activity. It is only visible as an arch over the trees over there. This is quite normal for December and January, for example. Of course, even in December and January, you might have big auroras when they go up in the sky. But I'm saying more about like a typical calm night. So this is when we see them in the north of over the horizon. Today we've been seeing them all over the sky, in the north, in the west, in the east, up ahead, and even in the south, back over there, like facing opposite north. At least for a while. So today the whole sky is green. That's why I've put my camera outside, so I can easily point in any direction. So if you are just joining me, this is Alex from All About Lapland. Today I'm visiting the Aurora village in Ivalo, 300 kilometers north from the Arctic Circle. And it's the very first Northern Lights live stream that I can go inside and warm up. Usually I'm outside all the time, on the ice, in the forest, on the hill. But today I've traveled to a really nice location where we're staying at this amazing Aurora cabins, and at least for a while I can go inside and be a normal person and warm up and take it a little bit easier. So Jidapa is saying good night. Thank you for the show. See you, Jidapa. See you on the next stream. And make sure to subscribe to notification, and there is some kind of very special notification for the live streams. Christina is saying thank you for showing us this beautiful night. You're very welcome. I'm still gonna live stream for some more because you never know. It's still pretty active, and now I can see there is this small kind of snippets like going around the sky in this arch. So let's see. George is saying you've mentioned December. When are they most active? So the way it goes, George, and all of the others as well, is the aurora season begins in end August. This is when the nights are sufficiently dark. Before that, the nights are really bright. You cannot see stars, you cannot see northern lights, because there is almost daylight, like almost 24 hours, even in early August. for 2.5 months, like there is no night at all in midsummer. So the aurora become really good in the beginning of September. And September is a very good month for northern lights because of the equinox. During the equinox, you have a special kind of physics effect, which is called a Russell-McPherron effect. It means that there is a highway of solar wind created between the sun and the earth, which boosts northern lights activity, meaning that if it's a dead night with zero forecast, you can still see something. If it's a regular night, it is much better. And if it's a great night, it should be very amazing. So today is a good night, which turns into a great night, I think. The same effect is also happening during this equinox right now in March. So September and early October in autumn is when they're most active, and March. In end October and November, the activity is going down, and this is when you have a little bit less of a chance to see them. Although if you go to such places in the north, like Ivalo, Inari, and even more north, this is when you are treated to the best chances, even in more quiet time of November. December and January are okay-ish months. They're not great, they're not bad. You can have different kinds of auroras, small auroras, and on occasion bigger ones. The main issue with early winter in November and December that it snows a lot. So when it is snowing, it can snow for like a week in a row. It can be cloudy for a week in a row, and this is when you will not be able to see northern lights. Of course, if you go elsewhere, find clear skies, you might be lucky. So in February, the activity goes back again. It becomes stronger. And now in March, it is probably the strongest in the whole season. Also, beginning of April, it's quite good for northern lights. But then what happens is that the night becomes so short, you have a very limited time spent to see northern lights, like maybe around midnight, 1, 2 a.m., and then it becomes bright again at 3 or 4 a.m., and the season basically ends in end April. So this is the kind of long answer to your short question. George is saying, thanks for the advice. What time of the day is the best? Midnight. I think, statistically speaking, it can be from 9 to midnight, or 1 a.m. It's the best time. However, in December, when nights are very long, when it gets dark at 5 p.m. already, you can see northern lights at 5 p.m. if it's a good activity night. So it depends. You can... Basically, it's theoretically possible to see them at any time of day or night when it's dark, or evening or night when it's dark. However, statistically speaking, from 9 p.m. until midnight to 1 a.m. it's when they are mostly appearing. So now we have an arch which has separated in two. There is one on the horizon, and then there is a kind of another one behind the trees, and some very kind of gentle shivering action there on the west. So I'm gonna go and close to the window, and I'm gonna stop talking for a while, have a little drink, continue live streaming, and see what we do next. So, the Aurora has become a little quiet since we've started live streaming almost 1 hour ago. However, the northern lights conditions still look quite good and promising, so it's still possible there'll be more to come. So, even though it is a quiet moment right now, I'm not gonna stop this time like I did during the first stream. I'll just continue showing this image over here, and we'll see what happens next, and I'll check back in with you a bit later, and I'll just relax and warm up here in this cool cottage, as I don't have to wait outside and be in this really cold wind. So see you guys a bit later. So we have a question from George also. George is asking, my friends in southern Finland are telling me they can't see anything. Too bad for them. Sure. Or is it because of city lights? I believe that the aurora is still too much in the north for your friends in southern Finland to see. We are, I think, over 1,000 kilometers more north than Helsinki, so that is a big difference. So while we see the auroras quite well over here, almost overhead, in southern Finland, the auroras are hidden behind their northern horizon. I guess on occasion today, the aurora went south from this place, meaning that it would be possible to see it a little bit more to the south, but I'm not sure how south that was, and definitely it wasn't for very long. So this why this area is one of the best in the world to see northern lights when you are so high up in the north. So on a few nights per year, I think it's possible to see some northern lights in southern Finland. although it is nothing like we see it here. They only generally see it as an arch over their horizon, while here we can see it's dancing all over the skies. So I guess your friends from southern Finland have to climb up a little bit more north to see the lights. So we have some more questions from George. He's asking, you're based in Lapland, right? How often do you see them? Well, Lapland itself, George, is a very vast region which spawns for over 500 kilometers from north to south. So it is very different if you are living in southern Finland and southern Lapland and northern Lapland. So it is a very drastic difference. I live near the Arctic Circle, so my chances are average, and perhaps I can see northern lights once or twice a week on a very general basis. That of course means that sometimes I can see them for the whole week in a row, and sometimes we might have 2 weeks without, or 3 weeks without seeing northern lights due to different conditions such as snow and clouds. So the more north you go in Lapland, the higher chances you have. So going here in Inari region where I am right now, in Ivalo, you're increasing your chances, and it is a 300 kilometers difference from my hometown, meaning that the auroras are usually much more interesting here than back home. Of course, we do have our share of great auroras in Rovaniemi on the Arctic Circle, but this is just better. Hope that explains it. And we have Terry joining from Texas. Hello, Texas. Hope you're doing well. I've heard that you're doing fine right now. Please tell us how things are in Texas. And George is also asking, if I make a trip to Lapland, how much time should I give it to increase my chances of spotting the auroras? Well, one thing you got already is to come in the right season, in the best season, which is mid-September to end September and March. Especially times around equinoxes, like right now, are great. Usually I would book as much time as possible to be here because there are so many wonderful things to experience, so many places to visit. But generally at least 4 or 3 nights would be good because some of the nights might still be cloudy. So if you have more like 5 to 7 nights to spare, then you will also increase your chances. And we have Terry reporting from Texas saying, Texas is good, sunny today. Snow in the forecast tomorrow. Really? Snow right now in March in Texas? Wow, that's interesting. Here in Lapland we have a very warm week and it's melting during daytime. The temperatures are within 5 to 10 degrees centigrade range, which is quite warm for this season. But luckily it should be only this week which is so warm, and we would be going into more colder temperatures when March nears. So I've been streaming for over an hour now, and the Aurora has calmed down, but I still believe that the chances that something else might happening are good, and it might just be that the Aurora is just recharging. So I will continue live streaming because you never know when it's gonna start blasting again, and hopefully we'll still have some more things to see on this stream. And Alex is saying, I'm from London, but apparently some people in northern Scotland could see the lights a few weeks ago. Yeah, March has been really good, and 2nd and 3rd March were great for Northern Lights, and also a few nights ago we had amazing Northern Lights as well, so I believe people in Scotland were able to see that. So I'm gonna go and check the sky with my own eyes right now. I'm sitting inside this cottage that you are looking at right now. It's my first ever night that I'm waiting for the auroras inside and can stay warm, because usually I am out there in the cold freezing my ass off, but now I can be comfortable inside this Aurora cabin in this wonderful Aurora village. So I went towards the glass igloos, glass windows of this cabin and looked at the sky with my own eyes. And now what I can clearly see is that very big overarching Aurora rainbow, so to speak, which is going across the sky from east to west. It is not very powerful, but it's still there. So we're gonna keep on waiting and streaming for a little bit because still things might happen, and we never really know when the Aurora will start dancing again. Perhaps it's just collecting its strength, and I think I will also go and change the position of the camera because now it's going out of frame. So I'm gonna leave this amazing warm nest and go into the wind for a few minutes. Alrighty, I'm out of this wonderful and warm nest. Luckily the wind is not so powerful at this very moment as I'm going outside. So the arch of the Aurora has moved more towards the south, and it's now at the same place with the moon, going slightly south and up over there. So this is where it's going. It is not very visible, not very powerful, but it's quite a big arch. Actually, it's more visible on the other way in the eastern direction. So we're gonna go there. Surprisingly, there is nothing on the northern horizon. It's just crystal clear, but instead we have just this very big, it's like a aurora cloud, so to speak. So there, we found it. Over there, looking over the Aurora street over here with the Aurora cabins. So we're gonna go and look up. There we go. There it is right now. It's quite huge, but not very powerful and defined. Interesting. So tonight has been a weird night in many ways. Aurora has been playing hide and seek, showing up in all of the different positions in the sky. So even now this arch is going slightly south. So the east to west line is more or less in the middle of this image, and this Aurora band is going slightly overhead and slightly south from this place, which is a quite interesting thing to do. So, what shall we do? I guess it is looking still quite good. I mean, it looks pretty lazy, but who knows? I don't want to miss a good show, so I will continue doing the stream, and hopefully things will start to happening, and I will leave this camera angle over here right now. Perhaps I will go put it a little lower to the left, because if the Aurora starts, it probably will be more in the north. So I will leave it at here somewhere and go warm up again, as it's so very windy here today, and I have a privilege of staying inside in the warm. So I'm back inside. It's quite lovely to have this opportunity to stay in the warm and wait for the auroras. A luxury to which I'm not used to lately, as I'm usually out there in the cold. So Muse is saying, this is the second aurora I see thanks to you. It is incredibly beautiful. You're very, very welcome. George is saying, do city lights affect your visibility of them? Or are they visible even in Rovaniemi? So the city lights definitely affect the visibility, and in Rovaniemi you can see northern lights in some parts of the city, perhaps not the city center, because there are buildings are the main problem. So the main thing is the city lights remain behind you and not before you. So let's say if you're looking from the southern Rovaniemi, then it's like more of the problem. It greatly depends on the strength of the aurora. Sometimes you can see it, sometimes you do see it, but you realize that there is too much city lights to have a good understanding. Generally, I try to go somewhere outside the city, even on these streams that I'm doing, so you can understand why. So when you go out in the wilderness and there is no city lights in front of you, then you're having a much better show. So also it happens that if the aurora is really, really so powerful, then it doesn't really care even for city lights. So it greatly, greatly depends on the night. Also, sometimes full moon is making it really hard to see small auroras. But of course, if the auroras are very big, then full moon is not a problem. We also have Ted joining the stream. Nice to have you, Ted. We are almost 1.5 hours into the streaming, and this is the first time ever that I can stay warm inside these Aurora cabins at the Aurora village. And I'm still waiting for a miracle, I guess. I'm still waiting for it to return. We had some good stuff happening in the first half an hour, 45 minutes. But then the aurora has quieted down, and I'm not really sure what to expect next. Of course, there is still some green, as you can see. There is a huge, massive, large arc happening in the sky, although it doesn't really dance or show like big signs of life. Still, the aurora conditions look quite promising, so you never know. if it will return for some more, so that's why I am continuing streaming. And this is already the second live stream for today. The first one I did when I had the camera inside this cabin, shooting through this very large glass windows over here, which is normally you see Northern Lights through these glass windows in the north. But this March is such an amazing month that you can have auroras anywhere in the sky, so that's why the second live stream is happening from the outside, and me, on the other hand, I hop in periodically, hop out, and can warm up a little bit. Stephanie is saying, kova tuuli, strong wind. Yes, that's why I'm warming up here inside. So while our camera is bent towards the east, I cannot see the north right now, so I'll just approach the window and see from the glass window if there is aurora in the north. So, I do not see any auroras straight in the north, but this arch is still there on the east. So, we'll continue live stream for a while, hoping for the aurora to return. How did you set up the remote camera? I have a huge long wire. So guys, we've 1.5 hours into the stream. Looks like this Aurora is fading and it's not going to do any more fun stuff for us. Well, not to worry, we had some really good show early on. And also we had our first live stream also as well. So this night has been relatively good for us. So I want to thank you all for watching this live stream. Hopefully you have had fun. And as always, keep on smiling, keep on sharing your positivity, keep on sharing the good and truthful information, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, and stay cool.